Hello and welcome back to episode 7 of the Shattered Relics League. We're going to kick things off right away with some huge XP rewards that I was saving specifically for my 12 times experience multiplier. I did Waterfall Quest, Holy Grail, and Monkey Madness 1 all back to back to back and effectively got base 70 melees from it, which is just absolutely incredible. However, that said, I'm going to be skipping quests whenever possible from here on out, with a few notable exceptions, but realistically, it is completely worth skipping quests. It is not worth your time at all, because the progress is just so fast in this league. Now that said, here at the beginning of this episode, this is actually the first day following the massive point reward that was offered to all players as of the first week of the league's concluding, and that is absolutely no difference here either. I got half of my points back basically, and what I'm going to wind up doing is I'm going to put them all directly back into my skills and just unlock all of the skills from the get-go. I honestly feel like this was a big mistake on Jagex's part, as skills being locked was one of the most unique parts of this league to me, and just the fact that it was made easy enough to the point where all skills can just be unlocked within basically a couple days of playing takes a lot of the interesting routing out of the game mode for me. It's a little unfortunate that this happened, but hey, I'm still excited to play, and it'll be pretty nice to just be able to go forward unlocking tasks and getting those next higher tiers available. That said, I do agree with the buff to set effects being reduced in cost and total number of relics. That is honestly a good change, as I feel like part of the leagues being so much fun is just combining all these broken effects as much as you possibly can, and things were just a little bit too inflexible, so it's cool to see that change go in. So with my massive point refund, I basically just went ahead and unlocked every single skill because I had enough Renown to do it now anyway. It just seemed to be the next best step for me, so I went ahead and did it. But hey, at least we're still completing tasks. Harvest an Irit Leaf, 25 points. So of course, now that we had all of the skills available to us, I went ahead and jumped right in with some mining. Started off with Dork's Quest, got a little bit of extra bonus experience there. And of course, then we jumped straight into Night Sword with a jump to 54 smithing directly, which is just absolutely incredible. Still can't get over these huge experience drops. After that, I wanted to do a little bit of mining to go towards Molten Miner, as I know it's extremely useful in this league. It basically allows you to smelt bars instantly without coal, and that's something I definitely want to have. Thankfully, I got it super early and was able to begin benefiting from it immediately. I basically just went to a 3-rock iron spot, used Greedy Gatherer and Personal Banker as much as I could, and got the fragment really quickly, and did a little bit more mining beyond that. I wound up walking away with Rock Solid Molten Miner and Smithing Double Resources Fragment, which is just absolutely incredible. I used the bars that I smithed to actually make dart tips that I'll be using for range training later, but I needed to unlock the desert for them, so of course, that's when we go ahead and spend more stages Renown on skipping quests. I actually unlocked all the way through Desert Treasure because why not? A notable unlock that happened through this process was also that I got my Arcane Conduit up to level 3, which is absolutely huge because it jumps my rune savings to 90%. It basically means that I will barely need any runes for the rest of the game mode. Following making the darts, I went and made a quick stop in the museum to get 28 Hunter and Slayer now that those skills were unlocked. That's why I was putting off that beginner task for so long. I wanted to get that experience. After that, I went and did Daddy's Home in Varrock as well for 28 quick construction levels and some free materials. I find this really useful as right after this, I auto-completed Bon Voyage, and you get almost all the supplies that you need to build a museum camp from completing Daddy's Home, so it flows really nice from one to the other. All said and done, I got 43 construction and plank stretcher from this, which was just a perfect kickstart to construction. And of course, before leaving Fossil Island, I did my first couple birdhouse runs, and then I grabbed some volcanic ash to make ultra compost for farming. And then of course, you know what time it is, it's time for another AFK session, this time at Barbarian Fishing, with Greedy Gatherer and Personal Banker completely maxed. Wound up ending at 90 fishing after just a couple of hours, also unlocked Mother's Magic Fossils, which is a new relic for me. It was at this point with the buff relic effects that I realized that you could stack Greedy Gatherer and Certified Farmer super easily, and they actually result in 6 times harvested resources from farming patches. Not only are the resources multiplied, you also get bonus experience as well, so it just means that farming patches outclass any other form of farming in this league except for maybe Tithe Farm. As a result of that, I was able to quickly enter the Farming Guild mid-tier for some more points, and then I rolled off to Tithe Farm to complete some tasks there as well. This is also extremely broken because you only need to grow about 18 seeds to get the required fruit to get maximum points per trip, But unfortunately, I totally forgot that there's a relic that triples the points here, and I did not use it at all. So that was a big mistake on my part. That said, I was still able to complete all the tasks here within about 20 minutes, at least for growing the actual plants. Walked away with about 1 million farming experience, and also unlocked Autoweed. Can't complain. Then I did a quick detour to get a Xerix Talisman, as I was completely sick of walking around Zaya. And then went back to AFKing, more woodcutting, and got up to 80 with a bunch of logs for birdhouse runs going forward. Following that, I wanted to look to runecrafting, and I went to the Dale Essence Mine in Darkmire actually to begin this. Of course, I actually had to unlock the Sins of the Father quest, but once that was unlocked, I was able to mine there, and within a couple hours, I had 10k essence ready to go. Of course, I'm going to use this on the ZMI runecrafting method with Last Recall. I was getting over 750k experience an hour doing this pretty inefficiently with Theater of Blood banking at a low level, so runecrafting is going to be no problem at all. I did this for just a little while and I got the 2500 essence task knocked out, and as a result ended up with just about 70 runecrafting. Also unlocking the Rune Escape fragment on the way, which is just absolutely amazing. Now following this, I actually had another revelation, and that's actually when I began farming giant seaweed. It's also completely broken because it's 6 times resources. You only have to go to the patches like 5 or 6 times, and you have all the seaweed you need for 99 crafting, which is just, it absolutely blows my mind. So I very quickly just made that happen in the background, and now I have all the seaweed I need already. And as a result of all that bonus farming experience, I was able to enter the high tier of the farming guild already. Don't ask me how it happened, I don't know. Farming is just so fast this league. After that, I had a quick detour to train a little bit of herblore, just up to level 50. And then I did about 5 to 6 hours of splashing because I had some real life conflicts come up. But even the splashing was extremely productive as I leveled up a lot of minigame fragments during this time. So after this, I just jumped into some task rushing. But I had a bit of a focus here. I wanted to get my crafting up as fast as possible. In order to do that, I went to the Zaya library to do a few more books for magic experience, and then burst Blessed Spiders to get up to 77 magic for Super Glass Make. After that, I mined some sand for buckets of sand in the desert, and of course unlocked the quest to actually cast the Super Glass Make Lunar Diplomacy automatically using Sage's Renowned. Finally, then I Super Glass Maked for 75 crafting, got lucky enough to get the Artisan set effect in the process, and made unpowered orbs for insanely fast crafting experience. I leveled out around 75 crafting, so I made it glory, and that was the end of that. This being with the boost you can get from Unchained Talent. I also got lucky enough to get one of my Dragonstone jewelry duplicated with Imkanto's Apprentice. And I also completed Hand of the Sand and did some Battle Staff crafting in Yanil till I had about 1 million GP in my pocket. At this point, I'm just completely sick and tired of running out of money, and this should help in the short term. With Alchemaniac and the Craftsman perks, this is insanely fast money. I think this is well over 1 million GP an hour when you put everything together. It's a little annoying because it takes a lot of steps and a lot of world hopping, but this will be my primary source of money for a long time, I think. After all this, I realized I have more Sage's Renown than I know what to do with at this point, so I basically unlocked all of the rest of the quests, because why the hell not? And this is one of the reasons why I think the Sage's Renown change was not a very good idea. It basically makes the quests autocompletes a must buy, and you can unlock them all very quickly, like way before tier 7. One other thing I did is I actually did a little bit of range training, got about 700k experience an hour using those darts, and then the double tap and knife's edge set effects, which allowed me to get the accumulator and complete a couple range tasks, which was pretty nice. And then finally, it was time for Task Rush V2, time to get all the way up to tier 6. Let's do it. Now, one thing I actually did do during this time was I did do my first round of Tears of Guthix, putting that on Slayer. Give me a nice little boost to Slayer, all the way up to 48, which is pretty cool. I also completed my first medium and hard caskets on the account and got some decent rewards and some good task completions there. Pretty cool stuff.
And the end of the 6th phase of our journey.
Tier 6 unlocked. Jeez, this has been a long time coming. The tiers honestly feel a long way apart as compared to Trailblazer. Like, it takes me a lot of time and a lot of tasks to get there, but when you get there, it is incredibly satisfying. I got the Proflectional Fragment out of this, which is really cool. The really important thing about reaching Tier 6 is it basically unlocks Slayer. It's not really worth doing Slayer before it, because when you hit Tier 6, you can choose the task that you want, which basically turns Slayer into an efficiency overload where you can do exactly the task you want exactly when you need it. You need points? Do something easy. You need XP? Do something like Dust Devils. You need a specific drop? Do that monster. It's super easy. In addition to that, I also get items from sources that are 3 times as common, which is absolutely incredible. And that basically means that we've unlocked the Slayer grind. And that's actually where we're going to go ahead and leave off this episode of the Shattered Relics League. Thank you so much for watching, and an extra huge thank you to all the members of the channel that have joined so far. A double huge thank you, of course, as always, to OneKiller912 and Peepo Time for joining at that top tier. Take care, everyone, and I will see you in the next one.